Edgar Cayce felt it was really important to have a clear sense of your own core value in life, what he called a spiritual ideal. In many ways, it's a sort of starting point for being able to look into your own soul and find a mission. But the very word ideal can give us trouble. It can sound like the expectations that other people have put on you throughout life. That's sure to make us feel restless. Or an ideal can sound like something very heady, what we intellectually think we ought to be like, even when daily life experience makes that seem virtually impossible. But let's not get discouraged. Finding that core value, selecting a personal spiritual ideal, is not as far off as it might sound. It all comes down to making a heart connection to the best within you, something that you've already gotten hints of from your times of excellence shining through, the things you've written down on worksheet number 1. Life has presented us all with special moments, what we might call peak spiritual experiences. And they can help us see what we really know is the best in life, what we value most. A special moment in nature, a time when you were being really creative, a moment of deep love with someone, a powerful dream or prayer or meditation experience. This sort of experience gives you a direct and very personal taste of how the higher self sees life. These peak experiences give you clues about the central value within your soul, the feeling about life that your soul longs to have more often. Edgar Cayce time and again told seekers that giving a name or label to this inner knowing was very important. He suggested using a single word or perhaps a short phrase. Words like love, joyful creativity, truth, peaceful centeredness, oneness of all life. The list of possibilities is endless. The point is to pick something that is meaningful to you. Words that take you back to the feeling of your best self. Words that connect you to something you know is possible within yourself simply because you've been there a few times in your life. I'm going to be leading you through a guided imagery experience, a kind of guided meditation. You don't need to be an experienced meditator to do this exercise. It will simply be a matter of closing your eyes and following my voice as I lead you through some things to think about. We're going to be on an inner search for a single word or short phrase that captures your core value, a feeling about life that you know is possible and that you long to have more often. This will be that first step that Cayce says is so important for finding your life's purpose, the setting of a spiritual ideal. I'm going to lead you to a decision about that word or phrase by taking you on a guided journey in which you think back and remember some of the most positive experiences of your past. That's going to help you connect to the very best within yourself and then make a choice of a spiritual ideal. So get yourself comfortable, sitting in a chair or lying down, and then close your eyes. Begin by just observing the flowing in and flowing out of your breath. You don't need to try to change the rate or depth of your breathing. Just observe this great rhythm of your body. Since ancient times, it's been known that the breath can be used to connect the personality self and the individuality self. And by simply letting your attention rest on your breathing, you can begin to move your attention to the inner life of your soul and higher mind. Now, with your eyes closed and in your imagination, there comes a timeline. And along that timeline is your entire life experience. Maybe that timeline appears in a picture-like way for you. Or maybe as you imagine it, there is simply the feeling or the intuition of that timeline being there. However it happens for you, just be aware of a timeline along which every single event of your life is arranged. It's all there. What you were eating at your last meal, what you were doing a week ago, what was happening in your life a month ago, exactly 1 year ago. All of your recent years of adult life are spread before you. Every detail of what was happening, what you were thinking and feeling and doing. And there were ups and downs, surely. But you're able now just to objectively observe this timeline without any judgment. Just be there with it. All of your adult life experiences are there. All of your young adult life experiences. Your teenage years. All your grade school experiences. Even your preschool experiences as a young child. It's all recorded in your soul memory, and it's all spread before you now on this timeline. And now you notice something about this timeline. There are just a few experiences that stand out. They were very special and very positive experiences. Peak spiritual experiences. Although maybe you didn't know what to call them when they happened. They were moments when you were experiencing life in a way that's very different than your familiar personality life. Perhaps you were connected to something bigger than yourself. Or maybe you were in touch with very powerful, positive feelings. Take a moment now and notice 3 or 4 of these experiences. And I want you not just to remember what they were. I want you, one by one, to move back into them and re-experience them. Be the person you were in that peak experience. Let the memory fill you so much that you find yourself feeling just the way you did then. Think just the way you were able to do in that moment. Being exactly the identity that you were in that special moment, even though it may have lasted just a few seconds or a few minutes. And then once you've really let yourself relive one of the peak experiences, you'll move on to another one. Let's move into a first memory right now. And then perhaps you're ready to move on to another one. What did that second experience allow you to see and feel and know about life? And then let's move on to at least one more peak experience from your past, letting yourself relive it now. Finally, I want you to let those feelings and insights come together into one place in yourself. Feel how all that knowing can be collected into one place in yourself. It's a place you know is real because you've been there at least a few times in your life. And then allow a single word or a short phrase to come to your mind that describes that place in yourself. Perhaps it's a spiritual quality that describes it, or a way of being. And then holding in your clear memory whatever word or phrase has come to you, slowly begin to come back. Let your attention come back to your breathing once again, but you're still holding on to the memory of the word or phrase that you've chosen to be your spiritual ideal, a core value that you know is possible because you've had some direct personal experiences with it. Coming all the way back now, and when you feel ready, you can slowly open your eyes. So what have you just done with this exercise? That word or phrase is not your mission statement, but it describes a feeling about life, a place in yourself, out of which that mission can come. It's important to write down your experiences from the guided meditation. So turn to worksheet number 2, Clarifying My Spiritual Ideal, and make some notes about what's just happened to you. After you've done that, we're ready for lesson 4, where we begin to explore your talents and strengths that have a role to play in shaping your mission statement.